I want to just pull back and get into the really exciting news that another country has voted against EU expansion of powers. The five-star movement that just came out of nowhere 3 years ago, it's populist, it's anti-New World Order. Members of the organization, leaders of it are anti-Bilderberg, anti-New World Order. Very exciting. We've also seen big victories taking place where we see referendums being established in 25 other EU countries. That's every EU member. And we see what happened with Trump and what happened with Brexit, what's happening with Russia, what's happening with Iceland, what's happening with Catalonia and Spain. It's all going the same direction. Brazil's trying to get out of globalism. Foreign banks running your country, getting you into debt by design, controlling your nation. The IMF and World Bank documents got leaked in 2002, the year Joseph Stiglitz left. He says he didn't leak them. We've interviewed him twice. And it said, this is our plan. We've done it to the third world. Now we're going to do it in the first world. So the planet is waking up to who is screwing everyone over. Meanwhile, the Dow jumped 100 points to record highs after Italian referendum. CNBC. Now, Dr. Paul Craig Roberts has an article on Infowars.com asking if the sky is blue. He says, is the U.S. government behind fake news media attacks on Trump? They admit it's the State Department. They admit it's the White House coordinating and Obama out saying, call all media that disagrees with us fake news. What do you expect them to do when everything they did got discredited in the election? And they were shown to be lies and frauds. That's why we have to keep pushing the fact that they said Hillary was invincible. And they said, you know, that they weren't involved with Hillary, but they got caught basically running her campaign and giving her all the intel and the questions. And now that they've had this historic loss, they're only intensifying what they're doing. In fact, here's a clip. Pelosi pressed on ghastly Democratic losses since 2008. They're the ones saying it was the end of the Republican Party, that the Republican Party was going to go extinct, that it was all over. And now it's not just the Republican Party establishment that's going extinct, it's the Democrats in whole. As populism surges, as the people discover how things really work. We're going to go out to break with this clip. Pelosi pressed on ghastly Democratic losses.
Question, though. Democrats, since 2008, the numbers are ghastly for Democrats. In Senate, Democrats are down 10%. In the House, down 19.3%. And in governors, 35%. The Democrats are getting clobbered at every level over multiple elections. That seems like a real crisis for the party.
Well, you're forgetting that we were up 56. You know, we went up so high. In 2006 and 2008. And let me just put that in perspective. When President Clinton was elected, the Republicans came in big in the next election. When President Bush was president, we came in big in the subsequent election. When President Obama became president, the Republicans came in big in the next election.
I guess my question is, the Republicans reacted to their losses with a big revolution and a change. They have a very new president at the top of their party now. You have somebody like Agricultural Secretary Tom Vilsack saying that the Democratic Party is like a tree that, quote, looks healthy on the outside, but is in the throes of a slow and long-term demise.
Well, I have enough respect for the secretary, but I'm more optimistic about the strength of the Democratic Party. And what I would say, because you talked about these numbers, of some reasons to be hopeful, because it's necessary, because this is about policy. It's not about politics. It's about politics.
I mean, this is the bizarre crone that these idiots reelected after total defeat. It shows they're not doing anything new. They're just letting the same old technicians run the same old lies over and over again. This is great news for the liberty movement. Our fellow info warriors across the United States and across the planet really love the Hillary for Prison 2016 shirts that we began to put out in 2015. It became a global meme against globalism and corruption, and a very strong maxim that's now being continued on today. So we now have George Soros, because the media attacked me on this whole goblin meme. They've made huge jokes about it, but it's totally blown up in their face. We now have George Soros as a goblin on the back, and it says, with a cross through him, you know, an X like Ghostbusters, no Soros, him as a goblin. It says deport Soros on the bottom, and on the top it says InfoWars established 1996. So it is a limited edition, deport Soros on the back, Hillary for Prison on the front, right-hand shoulder, Infowars.com. It's powerful. Hope you get out to everybody you know. Infowarsstore.com, or call 888-253-3139. I want to just pull back and get into the really exciting news that another country has voted against EU expansion of powers. The five-star movement that just came out of nowhere 3 years ago. It's populist. It's anti-New World Order. Members of the organization, leaders of it, are anti-Bilderberg, anti-New World Order. Very exciting. We've also seen big victories taking place where we see referendums being established in 25 other EU countries. That's every EU member. And we see what happened with Trump and what happened with Brexit, what's happening with Russia,